Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good soggy morning. I don't know if anyone else was woken up at 5 o'clock by those thunderstorms, but they were no joke. And if you're like, what happened to the 90-degree weather? Then you must be new to Texas, because this is just what happens. And it seems like on Easter week, this is what happens. We have the crazy weather. There's hailstorms half of the years. Good morning, Suzanne. I see so many people coming on this morning. Ginger, so glad you guys are here. If you can believe it, we are on day 37. It doesn't feel like it's been that long, and yet it feels like it's been really long. Can anybody relate to that? Like, we're into April of 2023, and that seems like it's gone so fast. While we wait on a couple people to hop on this morning, I saw a TikTok. Yes, it's where I get half my news. Don't judge me. But I saw a TikTok that hit me deep in my soul, and I want to see if any of my other Southern mamas or women can relate to this. She said, Easter hasn't been the same since they closed Payless. And I was like, yeah, you remember that? I don't know if you have those memories of, okay, we need some pink sandals, we need some yellow shoes, we need something with blue flowers on it, whatever, but you can't break the bank because you're going to wear them twice. No, you had to pay less. So I don't know if anybody else can relate to that, but as a kid growing up and as a mom with two girls, Payless was it for Easter shoes, right? That and prom. You always found the fancy shoes there for prom too. All right, I'm going to jump in. Good morning. Yes, I'm glad y'all can relate. I see some people like, or wieners. Oh my gosh, I forgot about wieners. Memory unlocked. Okay, so today we're going to continue with the I am that Jesus was giving to his followers as he's preparing them, getting ready for what is coming, what we know now, because we have the foresight, we have the 2020 hindsight. We know what's coming, and he's preparing his disciples. And so yesterday, Pastor Jared shared a beautiful, beautiful devotional about how Jesus is the way. And so today, of course, it's Jesus. He teaches how, my favorite way, through stories. So today is one giant metaphor, and it's Jesus is the true vine. And we're going to be in John 15, verses 1 through 17 today. And I'd love to pray for us as we get started. God, thank you just for this time that we share, for the beauty of this season, God, just the celebration in who you are, the great I am, and that we get to be loved by you. We get the benefit of your grace. And God, I pray that these words today go exactly into the hearts they need to go in, and that you move in ways that we may not know this side of heaven. I ask all these things in your name, and everybody in their cars driving in the thunderstorms or sitting in their office warm and cozy say, amen. Okay, Jesus is the true vine. As you know, my little Bible always has my little headings, which I share with you guys. This one's pretty straightforward. Jesus is like a vine. That's the chapter title. So I feel like we've got our theme down for the day. So he starts talking, and of course he's with his followers. He's with his besties for the resties. And he starts out by telling them, I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. And so there's all kinds of backstory. Please look it up if you're interested in like Pastor Keith always does so well, going into why this is important and what this symbolizes. And if you look at back in the Old Testament, how Israel was considered the vine and God was taking care and tending, and the gardener, there's all kinds of back stuff on that. And I'll try to put the verses in that it relates to in the chat later. But there's a lot of symbolism more than just, hey, I'm a vine and God is the gardener. And so he starts out that way, and then he starts talking about just really practical things, kind of like giving a gardening lesson in case the disciples maybe didn't grow up as farmers. He cuts off every branch of mine that does not produce fruit, and he trims and cleans every branch that produces fruit so that it will produce even more fruit, which sounds counterproductive, but it's true. You are already clean because of the words I have spoken to you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. Okay, so my translation says remain, but several ones that I read say abide. And basically, I love this because he's reiterating those beautiful words that Jared had us repeat yesterday about dwell, abide, remain, stay with me, right? He's setting the stage about, I'm about to tell you this, all these things. I'm leaving and I know you're going to want to follow, but I'm telling you how you stay with me. So it's really very beautiful, this imagery that he's doing. A branch cannot produce fruit alone, but must remain with the vine. Who's the vine? Jesus. In the same way, you cannot produce fruit alone, but you must remain in me. So he set up what that means, why we prune, what the vine is, and then he goes on, I am the vine and you are the branches. If you remain in me and I remain in them, they produce much fruit. Without me, you can do nothing. I don't know if they were hard-headed. I feel like maybe, because Jesus is not like repetitive just to be repetitive, but he's really hammering this home. He's really bringing back, hey, abide, remain. It's important that we stay connected. And it's important that you know I've already set that up for you. There's a gardener, I'm the vine, you're the branches. We are all connected. He's really hammering that home. If you drop down to verse 7, if you remain in me and follow my teachings, you can ask anything you want and it will be given to you. You should produce much fruit and show that you are my followers, which brings glory to my Father. He's not talking about apples and oranges, guys. Our fruit is, again, so much symbolism in the Bible. It's how people know. It's that unidentifiable quality that we've talked about that people see, and they see something different in you. They see something that they want to be a part of. They see a peace. They see joy, all those fruits of the spirits. They see you living that, and that is what sets you apart. That is what shows you're a Christ follower. That is your fruit. And he's saying, guys, you got to really produce. This is your job. Go make fruit. Stay close to me. Stay connected to the vine. Don't be one of the dead branches that gets pruned off and put over there. You want to be pruned, not cut. Stay with me and let's make some fruit together. And if you drop down to verse 11, I have told you these things so that you can have the same joy I have, and so that your joy will be the fullest possible joy. This is cup runneth over level joy. This is the joy in the Lord that all the songs are about, all the worship is about, the joy that comes in truly knowing Christ. And he wants us to have that. And that's pretty beautiful, guys. If you go down to verse 12, this is my command, love each other as I have loved you. The greatest love a person can show is to die for his friends. Foreshadowing. The greatest love a person can show is to die for his friends. Some versions say lay down his life for his friends. And then look how he continues in verse 14. You are my friends if you do what I command you. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know what his master is doing. But I call you friends, because I have made known to you everything I have heard from my Father. I call you friend. He's saying that to them as surely as he's saying it to us today. I call you friend. Abide in me, dwell with me, remain with me. I want to help you produce fruit. I want to have a relationship with you. And I like that we do a lot when, even in baptism, we talk about you're choosing Christ, you're choosing to follow Jesus, you're accepting God into your heart. But I love this next verse. We're down in 16. You did not choose me, I chose you. I chose you. God chose me. God chose you. He's reminding them that he came here on a very important mission from our Father. He chose us. And I gave you this work to do. Go and produce fruit. Fruit that will last. Then the Father will give you anything you ask for in my name. And he ends with, this is my command. Love each other. Love each other. Okay, lots of vines, lots of pruning, lots of choosing. I love crepe myrtles. I don't know if you guys know what those are. I didn't know they were controversial. Apparently, you love crepe myrtles or you hate them. I love them. They're big, beautiful pops of color. So I grew up out in the country and we had crepe myrtles. We all got to pick a color. It was a whole thing, my sisters and I. And so they're dotted around. And if they are allowed to grow unchecked, they are huge trees. If you don't know that, then I became a city girl and I see landscaped crepe myrtles and they are beautiful little orbs, but I had always seen giant, huge crepe myrtles. Roses are another one that fits in this really well. Sometimes some plants are aggressively pruned to become more beautiful. Their transition to beauty, their transition to bearing more flowers or more fruit doesn't always look pretty. Neither does ours. I don't know if you've felt this through Lent, but I gave up something that sounds really dumb. Don't judge me. It was games on my phone. And when I first thought of it, I was like, that seems dumb, but okay. The amount of time I realized I have spent on my phone playing dumb games, that it just became such a habit to pick it up anytime I had a minute. Wow. It was convicting after like day 3 how much I grabbed that phone. It was a little bit of shame that I felt how much time I had put in on that. It didn't look so pretty. When you prune back crepe myrtles or you prune back roses, sometimes it looks like sticks until they bloom again and you see the beauty of the fruit and the blossoms they produced. Sometimes it looks ugly. Sometimes it's hard to prune stuff from our life or to allow God to, because sometimes it's a relationship you don't want to give up with a person, with a thing, with a habit. Sometimes it looks like sadness. Sometimes it looks like shame. But always, always, if we remain and abide and dwell, the beauty on the other side of that pruning is unmatched. And that is my prayer for you all, that this Lent has shown you where you need to prune, and maybe even some branches that just need to go because they haven't produced fruit for you in a long time. But you're giving them energy and you're giving them time that could be given to those things that are producing the fruit that God has said is our job. He chose us. The gardener and the vine are in relationship with us. Someone said it's so hard to love someone when they have hurt you, but God will be with you. Yes, that's exactly right. We say love one another. They're not talking about your family and friends that you adore. They are talking about that. Jesus is talking about that, but he's also talking about the person that cut you off in traffic. He's also talking about the person that deeply wounds you. He's also talking about the ex-best friend that hurt you so much that you're like, I thought I knew you. I thought we were in this together. They're talking about the ex-spouse. They're talking about the mean mother-in-law. They're talking about all of them. God, Jesus, want us to love everyone. That's one of our fruits. I will know you by your fruits. They will know us by how we are different than the world. Because the world's like, cut your losses and run. But God's like, let's prune and make something more beautiful. So my prayer for you, my hope for you as we head into this soggy day, because y'all, the thunderstorms are in the forecast this day. If you didn't take a jacket, I'm sorry. Just know you're going to be sitting in traffic if you drive anywhere today. But as you go through the soggy day, think about where God is pruning you. Think about the other side of that and how beautiful it's going to be. And I just encourage you, lean into it a little bit, because it might feel a little painful in the moment. It might feel a little uncomfortable. You might feel like you're being whittled down to a stick with a couple of branches. But there is something so beautiful on the other side. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for spending time with us this morning. Be safe out there, and we'll be back tomorrow. I think it's Pastor Yachty. It's going to be day 38. Guys, we're going to have Good Friday, which I never understood being called Good Friday, but then it's Sunday. And what a celebration it will be, because, I love Easter. I don't know if you guys do. So I hope to see you and have an amazing day.